two. No, hold on. Hold on. It's
your
two.
beliefs. It's wrestling.
It's two.
And we are here. Episode 12 of this glorious podcast, Inside the 20 by 20, is live. And I'm your host, Mike Gambino. And we're here with the God Mod himself, Cross.
You.
And his prodigy, Chris Santiago.
It's the Prodigal Son. Don't get it twisted. What's up, everyone?
All right, guys, before we jump into the action, please do not forget to follow us on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and in case you didn't know, we stream from all major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music. Also, do not forget to view all of our recorded video footage from all our podcasts as well on YouTube. Now, guys, let's jump into it. Bash at Berlin. Match number 1, Cody versus KO. I think it was a good way to start the night. What are your thoughts? Rate the match.
Chris, I'll let you start.
Okay.
Oh, me?
Thank you.
Oh, Chris. All right, go. Sorry. I was excited.
Thank you. Me? Oh, please.
Me?
You will never be
I
first.
thought. No. I thought it was a great way to start the show. Get the lesser of the main stories out of the way, but also
And
put
no
it in a
story.
spot where everyone is going to have a lot of energy to kick off the show for a WWE Championship match.
Very true.
I rated. I'd rate it a solid. I saw it rated 4 out of 5, and I was thinking 3.5. But I was like, you know what? No, let me give it some fairness because again, they had little time to work on a full story. But when you have two guys like Cody and KO in the ring, it's just you're not going to have a bad match. You're going to have some twists and turns, and it was great overall. I liked that they still teased KO wanting to go heel mode and wanting to like chop block Cody's bad knee throughout the match, especially when he had that one where he tried to do a springboard and he dropped back down and you just see KO in the back like he just wants to do it. I want to do it, but he's just like, no, not gonna let the demons take over.
They're also playing the long game too, because like KO's been showing up on like even Brandy's like Instagram posts and all this stuff, bringing the kids to Disney and all this other stuff. So it's like, yo, he's gonna turn, and when he turns, it's gonna be a bigger problem than we expect for Cody.
I mean,
I think it's gonna be better.
I think it's a better storyline than him versus Solo.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just
Which
saying.
is what I'm scared of because it's like who's gonna be his opponent for Bad Blood in Atlanta in October, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, just keep him away from Bloodline.
Well, if it's Atlanta, it could be the return of Mr. AJ Styles. Homeboy versus homeboy.
Very true.
It could be, but then but the question still remains: who should be his next opponent? Unless they're going to do KO Cody round 2.
Well, I think we talked about this a couple of like in the beginning of the stream days. Beginning of the podcast days. The main issue is that surrounding Cody is that they turned so many great heels. Into baby faces to fight Roman. And now that Roman's gone and that storyline's over, we're left with all good guys basically. So like having Cody fight, these one-offs, I guess you could say that there's really not much story behind them. I could see why some people will get tired of it and not want to,
Well, but that's where they need to go from the. That's where they need to go from the ground up and start building because they need to start building his next big guy.
It doesn't necessarily mean that Cody has to be in a one-on-one match at Bad Blood. It could be a tag match or a 6-man or some kind of gimmick match just to have him on the card and not have a title focus. I mean, we have a great champion in Gunther who can pick up the slack there.
Yeah,
we'll get to that match later. It's a good one.
I have a personal peeve whenever you have one of your 2 world champions or your world champion on a pay-per-view card that isn't for the title. It's just that to me kind of defeats the purpose of him being a champion or them being a champion because it's just like, why would you go through all the effort to tell a story and not have them put up the title for the line at a pay-per-view? It's okay if it's like a SmackDown or a Raw.
It's a filler episode. I mean, come on.
It sounds like an episode of Tuesday Night Titans on the Twitch channel. When you get back there, Mike Gambino hasn't defended his title in so long.
Which you haven't done in months.
All right, Cross, what were you?
You used to be a huge part of Sophia and my Tuesday nights.
I know. Maybe I'll get back to it eventually. I'm enjoying taking naps. I'm an old man.
I need Gambino to finally defend his TCR championship.
I think I was defending it against you or something like that recently.
No, it was a Hell in a Cell match.
I still have a briefcase, by the way. I'm just saying.
He really does have the briefcase.
I still have a briefcase.
All right, so Cross, what were your thoughts on it? What was your and what would you rate it?
I thought it was a good match. I loved the slow burn with Kevin Owens. I loved seeing him outside of the ring and finally tap into the old Kevin Steen, whatever the hell you want to call him, when he kicked him in the knee and just powerbombed him against the apron. I love that Kevin Owens. I need that sadistic Kevin Owens back in my life.
Yeah.
That little tease was great. And again, they have enough ammunition to make this a good long story. Even with the fillers in between, if they do it right, this can last until Survivor Series.
True.
But again, it's up to how they point the direction in their area. The bloodline thing is getting tired. Solo sucks. He's worse than Roman. But
worse than Roman.
They need to take the focus off of that and let the Samoans handle the Samoans business and just have Cody actually have a good, contender out there.
I can see that.
The match, I think, was a good 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I'm there with both of you. I would say 4 out of 5. Just because Cody can't put a bad match in. It was a good overall match. Let's be real. This pay-per-view and in total, I feel like it was more of a fan service. They needed to have Cody there. They're having this major PLE in Berlin. They have to bring their WWE champion, around. But I
do
agree.
want to say though. Sorry, I just want to be, like a little bit aware of it because it's just I'm still kind of hoping for that they'll go back to the days of when each brand had their own pay-per-view. Like Raw had its own pay-per-views, SmackDown its own pay-per-views, and if they're really being serious about this brand split, which about 80% of it, they have been pretty serious about it. So I'm wondering if that'll lead to split pay-per-views again, to where you actually can have each brand develop stories without it being rushed.
Right. That actually does make sense, and just have them meet at the Big Four.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Like you had your Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania. Those are the 4 where they all kind of clash heads together. But I mean, you had Raw with like Backlash, and then you had SmackDown with Judgment Day, No Mercy, another Raw pay-per-view.
It's like they're doing it right now, but they're doing it with NXT and the main WWE roster.
I kind of feel like they're back to the In Your House days, where they're just throwing things out there just to make money.
Just to do it, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if you're gonna make, I mean, they're making bank every single week at this point now. So why not?
You know what's funny? I will tell you one thing that pissed me off about the Bash of Berlin, merchandise-wise. Of course, they made their belts or whatever. And I'm getting tired of the belts for every PLE. They got to slow that down. Yeah. Because you know what? Having an exclusive belt
guy?
Yeah,
that belt guy is saying he's tired of the belts?
I'm tired of all these exclusive belts. Because,
no, you're tired of not being able to buy these exclusive belts. There's a difference. There's a big difference.
I will defend Champ on that one because I too suffer from that as well, where you have scalpers buying 20 of these belts.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started.
You can't get them at the normal. You can't get them for the fair MSRP. So they'll sell it for double the value because we want to make our money off it, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I will defend it for that.
I already told you offline how to handle that, bro. I already told you.
It's hard when they're far away. Offline.
Listen.
All right,
we can make it happen.
Let's jump into match number 2 for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Bianca and Jade defeated the Unholy Union to become the new tag team champions. Why? That's all I could say. What? I don't get it.
It's Jade and Bianca. I mean, you have
Bianca. I want Jade to show to prove herself on her own. I don't which is hard.
The problem with that is that she's green. Regardless of what anybody says, Jade is still green. She was green in the other organizations. She's green here. The problem is now she has to learn how to wrestle here, which is completely different to how she was trained there. Mm-hmm. So they have her with Bianca, who's a little bit more,
Experienced.
a better veteran than most, I will say, who can teach her and show her how to wrestle in the WWE style.
And
You know,
she's
so
getting much better.
So I think what they're doing here is they're putting the belts back on them just so that they can build the animosity between them. So when the breakup happens,
It'll be epic.
exactly.
It'll be an epic.
And plus, and by then, hopefully, Jade can carry a match by herself.
I think she'd be able to. I think she just needs to be given, the reins to be able to do so. No pun intended. Just because with this, because like you said, this could be used as a way to. And correct me if I'm wrong here. Have they started sprinkling any sort of animosity or any sort of competition between the two of them yet?
I don't think so. No, I don't think they've set that up yet.
No. So, which is fine. Because, like Cross said, this could be the catalyst that kind of does it to where, and I'm going back to, and again, I keep bringing up Bully Ray, but I remember he was doing his episode with Stone Cold Steve Austin on the Broken Skull Ranch podcast, and he had mentioned when they did the breakup of Team 3D and TNA that the way he turned on Devon was because someone else kicked out of their 3D finish, and he was sick of it, and he was like, we lost because of you, yada, yada, yada. So there could be that sort of scenario where it could be a thing where it's, we lost because of you, and I'm sick of being tethered to you, whatever, and I'm tired of carrying you, whatever.
Breakup. That's how most tag teams break up. I mean, we saw it last night at No Mercy.
Yeah, Rich Holland.
Yeah. So
I'm glad they turned
him heel.
I'm very glad they turned him heel. I think that was a great move for him because now he can actually pull his own together instead of trying to be a babyface like he's been the last 3 years.
No, I love Chase.
Anyway,
so throw a number out there. What do you rate it out of 5?
Cross.
It was a good match. I think it's a good 3. Like I said, Jade's learning, and she's learning under a great teacher in Bianca. Again, once she gets settled and gets better confidence in her abilities, she's gonna be a monster.
Yeah, I agree. A 3 also. I do want to say I love their tag finish, like a code breaker and then turns into a German suplex. I like that a lot. I think it's I think it's cool, innovative little finish. Especially for the two of them, like you said, powerhouses. So it only makes sense.
But the Unholy Union is a good tag team.
They're great. Do I think that they could have held on to the tag titles a little bit longer? Sure, they could have.
That's what comes out. That's why I say it's a 2.5 of a match. They needed to stay tag team champs. Bianca and Jade, like, unless they're trying to build them up as like one of the greatest tag teams, being multiple time tag team champions, and they're already a 2-time tag champ in a year.
I mean,
2 times in a year, less than a year. It's been like
less than a year. Less than a year because Jade just started wrestling back in January.
Right. So it's that's why I'm saying why. Like, if they wanted to do something, like, I would say make it a different kind of match, put the titles up on the line, and have the Unholy Union win, though, because this is a perfect opportunity to push them up too. Like, I don't know. But
they did. They definitely pushed them up. People now know who the Unholy Union is because for a while, they weren't even on TV for a bit. So they got that big push. They got their big win over in. Yeah. Well, no, they got their big win over at Clash in the Castle, and they're able to then carry the tag titles for, 77 days, I think was the time frame that they held the titles. And then
2 months.
Give or take.
It's the average now.
It's not horrible.
2 months is an average on par to title.
Let's think about it this way also. Like we need to think about it this way also. We forget how often also back in the Attitude Era and also in the Ruthless Aggression, how often the tag titles on both brands were changed. The World Tag Titles and the WWE Tag Titles, those were changed, very frequently.
They were. You're right.
So, I understand that we're very much used to the lengthy title reigns now because of a certain somebody, but at the same time, also, it's it's kind of refreshing because it's cool to kind of see other people hold the belt.
Didn't the Usos do it first?
With
the tag titles, at least
broke the record.
Yes, for that they broke the record.
Yes.
If you want to get technical, for the tag team that held the titles for the longest for a while was New Day, but once they got really heavy in the bloodline, then Usos took over.
Like 22 days or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
God.
But just overall, I mean, like, it's fine for them to flop the titles a bit more like that. Plus, also, I think it's cool to give representation like that where you have Jade and Bianca with the gold. So that's my thoughts.
All right, well, let's go into one of the another WWE champion who broke records, Punk, defeating Drew McIntyre, ex WWE champion. Sorry. Um, I really enjoyed this match. It was fun. It was funny at times. It was disgusting at times. The fact that Punk, I don't know if he knew the bracelet was in Drew's undergarments, his jockstrap. He felt all the sweat and muster of many centuries of Highlanders as he kissed it.
Hey,
but like it was a good match though. I actually liked it.
Don't yuck his yum.
Nope.
What about you guys? What did you guys think?
It was a good match. I enjoyed it very, very, very much.
I did. I love.
It's a classic match.
It was, and actually one of my favorite one part that I thought was hilarious was when Drew had Punk on his back and he was slapping the corners, and then Punk would just hit the corner as well, so he would get the light too.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it 3/4 of the way around the ring, and it was just hilarious. It was because then I think Drew realized he's like, oh shit, he's about to do this too.
He's playing me.
He's playing me.
He's playing me. I love personally that they started off the match with Drew just decimating Punk to start everything off. Like no matter what, like you're putting a guy who's nearly 300 pounds versus a guy who's about 220, and you're gonna put them in a strap match together. Like it's fun to think about because that does bring the whole thing of Drew's just the obviously stronger person of the two. He's gonna throw Punk around in the strap like it's a dog. So it was cool that they showed that in the equation. And then, like you said, Drew gets cocky, starts fumbling the bag, and overall thing was awesome. But I loved it. I thought it was a great match. And now this sets up for the rubber match.
Isn't
hopefully
Drew also 0-3 in European matches? 0-2? No, technically
in European matches.
In European matches, at least. Because he lost to Roman back when at Clash. One of the first Clash.
Yep. He lost the second Clash.
He lost the second Clash.
Was that still
and now
just
he lost
30?
And now he lost this one. So he's technically 0-3 in Europe. It's crazy.
It's still dirty to me that they had him lose at Clash in the Castle twice in a row. That's still dirty to me.
That's messed up.
Imagine John Cena losing.
You never know.
That is true.
They could. It's just like imagine them having John Cena lose back-to-back times in Boston. Like you wouldn't see it.
I'm sure he has. Not recently, but I'm sure he has.
Not back-to-back. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't see it back-to-back like that.
We gotta look it up.
But the question is, would Punk actually would Cena allow that to happen?
I think he would. Yeah, he's very much the kind of guy.
He's about the business.
He is.
Well, luckily we're going to be seeing him to the end of to the end of 2025. So we're going to be seeing him
and beyond. He revealed on the Club Shay Shay podcast with Shannon Sharp that he signed a extended contract past 2025 to still make appearances, and
I think it'd be more like
legend. It's a Legends contract.
Yeah,
it's a Legends contract. Yeah, but the whole point is we're not going to be done seeing him on our TVs.
Or maybe he has enough money. Maybe he'll just join the board, and then him and The Rock.
I just got his farewell tour T-shirt in. And it's not the farewell anymore, apparently. The shirt is already outdated and it just came in.
There you go. It's collectors.
Why are you dropping money on that in the first place? You know nothing is ever forever.
It's always forever. Nothing's forever.
Unless you're Flair.
But all right, let's bring it back to the strap match. What did you guys rate it all overall?
Cross.
I would give it a 3.5.
Oh, 3.5.
I would give it a 3.5. I mean, yes, it's a Punk versus Drew McIntyre. It should have been an instant classic, but I kind of felt like it was short. Like they could have had the match be a little bit longer.
I think it was what, like 15, 18 minutes?
It was.
I mean, oh my God.
For a grudge match like that, I want to see at least a good 30-minute bout.
30.
I want to see blood.
30.
I want to see them just rip each other up.
They were cut open, and Punk was bleeding.
Yeah, Punk was bleeding.
Yeah, but I want to see like blood.
Gushing
like
blood.
I want to see somebody just get whipped with that belt and just see the welts on their back.
But it was also for that long of a match. It was also Punk's first match in WWE in the last 10 years. So for a comeback match, I think it was a pretty good match. Now it's not the last match he was wrestled.
Well,
but
then the second match.
Was it a second?
I mean, he fought Drew last month.
Did he
Yeah,
really?
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Why was everyone saying it was his first match in 10 years?
It was his first
Stupid.
singles match.
So
it was
there
his
you
first
go.
singles
That's what I'm
match.
talking about. Like, what are you making me seem crazy for? You know what? But with that, we're gonna go to a word from our sponsors. So stay tuned. We'll be back. We're gonna talk about that mixed tag team match and the World Heavyweight Championship match with Gunther and Randy Orton. While I go take a nap. Step into the ring with TCRnetwork.co, your ultimate destination for everything pro wrestling. Whether you're a diehard fan or new to the squared circle, TCRnetwork.co has you covered from the latest news, in-depth analysis, and it is also the proud host of Inside the 20x28 Pro Wrestling Podcast. From breaking stories to match highlights, get all the action you crave in one place. Join the community, stay ahead of the game, and never miss a moment of the excitement. Visit TCRnetwork.co, where wrestling lives. All right, and we are back at Bash of Berlin. You are here with the Inside by 20x20 crew, Chris, Cross, and myself. We are talking about that mixed tag team match. Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley defeated Dominic and Liv Morgan. Chris Cross, tell me what you think.
I thought it was, first off, I love it. I want that to be a thing moving forward. Secondly,
Cross?
yes,
Jesus Christ.
I want that to be a thing moving forward now. That was too natural. I think that was hilarious. I mean, how did we not think of this sooner? Anyway, I thought the match was very, very fun. Quite a lot of, and this is kind of weird to say. This is kind of weird to say because we're talking about wrestling, but there was actually a lot of like good wrestling in this tag team match.
There was.
You know,
There was.
we saw Liv pull out a lot of new tricks, and I was
Yeah.
very surprised that Riptide turned into like a crucifix drop.
I was going to bring that up.
Like
that was
a new
that should be your
finisher,
new.
like-
That should be your exactly. Should be your new finisher.
Yeah, because I don't
Like,
like
it'd be
the
cool.
Oblivion. The Oblivion's kind
I
of
don't-
stupid.
I don't mind Oblivion because it's basically a slingshot complete shot. But I like this because this also is a proverbial. I mean, it could be looked at as a proverbial middle finger to Rhea because it looks like it's gonna be a Riptide, and then she twists it into the corkscrew or a crucifix drop. So I like that we're seeing new stuff like that, and I like that it became a good mix of great story, but also a lot of great wrestling because you had good people in there already. So it was really cool. And obviously, you're never gonna have a Judgment Day match where there's not gonna be any Judgment Day
Yeah.
interferences in there, but it worked out well.
Sounds
to
like
a T
another crew
because-
we know of.
Yeah, except we
too.
actually like them. But anyway,
Yeah, we
so
love the Judgment Day. We do.
we love and appreciate the Judgment Day. But yeah, I thought it was great. I give it a 4 easily, a 4 out of 5. Just really off the rip, really good stuff, and I love all the added spots to show that Damien and Rhea like weren't gonna be stupid because they were the ones who were involved in all those run-ins, so they were shown to be prepared for the interferences. So
You know, Dominic, like in the beginning when he showed up with Ray and he did his own little thing, and I was like, oh, it was definitely a little lame. He also was very green, but
extremely great.
yo, as a
but look
heel,
how far it is in 3.5 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, as a heel man, oh my, I love him. Like he is so you just want to hate him. Like he's just I don't know. I'm loving every bit of Dominic.
And coming from a
lucky son of a gun.
coming from a Hispanic background, also, I love that he curses out the fans in Spanish. Like it just because also it's a thing where it's like he does it in all these like towns that obviously don't speak Spanish. So it's even funnier because then it's like, boo, we don't understand you, so boo, we're gonna boo you. USA, USA.
Cross, what are you thinking over there?
I can't stand Dominic. Never
What?
have. Never have.
Oh,
But that's a good thing.
Can
But
I
that's
finish?
a good thing.
Can I finish? Can
Cranky
you
ass
shut up? Can I finish?
No.
Can I finish? Anyway, so like I said, I've never liked Dominic from the get-go. It was that nepotism because he was Rey Mysterio's son.
I
He is
get
a hell of a heel. I will give him that. Not to mention he's been hanging out with Finn Balor, who has been training him. And a lot of people don't know Finn Balor was a great trainer for NWA back in Ireland. So he's getting better. He's a lot better now than what he was back then, but he is actually getting better.
He's got that presence.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say aura because that's like what the cool hip kids say nowadays. I'm gonna say presence. Because that's what we used to say back in the day. Back in the day.
Okay, boomer.
But let me touch one thing on the Judgment Day. Is it really called? Should it really be called the Judgment Day if Priest and Rhea aren't in it?
I mean,
yeah, because it was. Well, it wasn't them. I'm like it was.
They were
Judgment Day with them, but they didn't create the name.
I mean,
and they kept the name going after Edge.
They were the major players of that. They weren't, but they were the only ones who held.
What I'm saying is now
championships.
The reason why the name shouldn't stick with them is because they are bigger than the name. For example, let's look at the Bullet Club. How many people have left the Bullet Club, but it was still the Bullet Club?
All of AEW at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah. No, seriously, good answer.
That's not right because a lot of Bullet Club members are in the WWE.
Oh, that too. Yeah, well, they're all over now, but like
a lot of the OG members are anyway.
Right.
You got your AJ Styles, you got your Finn Balor, you got your Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Those are like the OGs of Bullet Club.
Well, and then you got Tama Tonga, you got Tongaloa.
Yeah.
You know, but so they're taking the name and they're just pushing it to the side. Like, just here, it's yours. Now they're the Terror Twins, and they're gonna be bigger than the Judgment Day.
I like the Terror Twins. I like the name. I like, I've always liked it. I want them to keep running with it. But
what? Damian Priest, come on.
But what's
that's your boy?
How far can you go with a mixed gender tag team? There's no champion. There's no championship.
However far you want to.
There's no.
You don't need to have a championship, but you don't need to have a championships for them.
But I'm saying, where do you go with this? You just known as the Terror Twins, and then that's basically it. And then
no, they're just a crew. They just go do what they got to do, but they're always together.
I'm hoping Rhea wins, an IC championship or the US championship, or brings in, or pulls a China.
Have a go after
like a China.
A what?
Have to go after like a male mid-card title.
A male mid-card title. Why not? We haven't seen it done since.
I can't see Rhea going up against Braun Breaker.
Won the 24/7 championship. One of the best.
I can't see Rhea and Braun Breaker going at him. I just can't.
I can. I don't think the world would be ready for it though.
Braun would just run right through her.
What if Dominic somehow wins and then she takes it from him?
Oh, that would be a good twist.
See, like that. They could make it. They could play it. They could make something happen out of it.
You know what I do want to know, because now my brain's thinking about it.
Oh, remember
when? Well, no, shut up. Remember when Austin Theory was forced to cash in his Money in the Bank on the United States Championship? So with that logic, could the women's briefcase? Does it necessarily have to be for a women's championship? Could it be for an IC championship if she wanted to go and pull a random?
According to WWE 2K24, it has to be designated to a title. Now, is that true in WWE real life? I don't know. I think it is, though.
I think I would know the answer to that question if
if Cross would cash in,
his Money in the Bank on the TCR Championship.
First of all, Cross is on an island right now, reinventing himself and getting rejuvenated before he cashes in.
That's true. We might be back for December to dismember.
It's been a stressful year for the man, and now he's trying to get back into that. It's been a
stressful year for you. It's been a stressful year for Chris Silva. That's what's been a stressful year for.
Chris was getting slapped around by C-Dub.
Yeah.
There was equal amount of slapping around. Shut up.
Anyway.
All right. So overall, I guess we're all in we're all together with a 3.5 out of 5.
I actually say 4.
I was going to say 4, 4.2.5.
No, okay. All right.
A 4.25? Just
4.25. Slap
And
that
it
on the
wasn't
screen.
exactly 4.5, but it got 4.25.
Do you believe in the education system when it goes from A- to A and A plus? Are you one of those guys that's like, I agree
will
with
give
that?
one part of the
Listen.
match. I will give one part of the match a 5, and that is the pretzel pin. And with that, let's go. And with that, let's get into the World Heavyweight Championship match. The Ring General Gunther defeats Randy Orton.
Why'd you guys say his name like that?
Right? Like, no.
Put
Some respect. Put some respect on the legend.
Orton. All right,
Put
what do you guys
some
think?
res-
I thought this match was phenomenal.
This match was the match of the night.
The match, 100%. Randy,
Which was the intent.
Yeah.
Which was the absolute intent. And,
fantastic.
there's no
match.
denying it. Like, it was, first off, you will put respect on the Legend Killer's name. And secondly,
I love Randy.
I adore Randy Orton. It's really
adores him.
great to
Ooh.
see. It's
He's hearing
really
voices in
great
his
to
head.
still. I am. It's
He
YouTube.
wants his Viper.
Hey, crisscross, tone it down. All right. Gunther,
Hold on.
go,
I loved
Chris.
it. 5 out of 5. Great
Yep.
match, technicality plus storytelling and ring presence. Like, you were just not gonna have a bad match between two extremely technically gifted guys. You were just not going to. Glad Gunther won, but low key. Also, when I was talking about with a friend of mine, I would have not have been mad if Randy Orton won the title.
100%.
Right. Right.
Because they both would have, because it both would, either of them would have been an acceptable and wonderful winner of the match. Either of
But
them.
imagine the boos that would have happened if Randy did win.
It would only have happened there, though. Imagine when he came back to the States and the pop he would get.
Very true.
Yeah, but thinking about the fear of pissing off a bunch of Germans in a stadium, do you think that WWE really wanted to do that?
That's very true.
I don't
Did
think
you
they
say
would
that,
have been.
Chris?
If
it was Vince, yes.
At all.
If it was Vince, yes.
100%. If it was Vince,
I honestly,
let's get them all angry.
I honestly don't think they would have been pissed though, because there was an equal amount of "Let's go Gunther, Randy Orton" chants.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was split, so I don't think there would have been much of a riot.
I saw like a thing that was saying how Gunther was telling Randy, he goes, "Oh yeah," Randy was like, "This is loud," and Gunther was like, "Yeah, I'm used to this. This happened a couple of times." I don't know about how loud the match was, how loud the match got.
The match was loud.
It was a loud
It
match,
was.
and Randy was saying how oh my god, this is a loud match. And Gunther was like, "Yeah, it's I'm
There's a fun
hearing
part
a
of it.
lot."
There was a fun part in that match too. There was a fun part in that match where Randy partook in the crowd wave
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
during the match. That was pretty funny. I like that.
You could tell both of them had a good time with the crowd, at this event.
Yeah.
They
And
definitely.
then we
I
can't
give it a
also-
5 as well. By the way, I'm up there with the
Yeah.
5.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 5.
I do want to
Definitely-
give a shout out also. I do want to give a shout out also to Ludwig Kaiser for
Oh, is
having
this
the announcing. I love Samantha Irvin. There was no other way he was not going to not announce Gunther in
Yeah, it was
in their second home country, basically. It was.
I was gonna bring that up. That was an epic. I don't know what he was saying half the time, but it was
Not at
an
all.
epic announcement. Like what's it called? Introduction.
Mhm.
He was like Gunther, and then my and baby champ, my son was running around. He goes Gunther, and I'm like, oh my god. It was hilarious.
It was great.
Overall, as a pay-per-view for Bash at Berlin, what would you guys throw it up there with? It was a fan service. Well, let's be real. It was an enjoyable pay-per-view. It really didn't, do much storyline wise for major players, other than the CM Punk and Drew McIntyre match. Right, kind of put that
Yeah.
at the end. That rivalry kind of ended there, but it's definitely prolonging other.
I mean, overall, I would give it a 4.
4
4.5.
You sound a little
4.5.
unsure.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's 4.5, depending on circumstances.
All right.
I'm no Dave Meltzer, but I try to keep it honest.
Isn't that guy wrong 9 out of 10 times?
Yeah, of course.
If all those matches happened in Japan, they would have been all 7-star matches.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
1,000% on that.
According to the Meltzer rating, and I had no shame saying that. I thought it was great. I do want to give it a 4 because if we're comparing it as just let's throw away filler episode alone, just as a PLE alone, and I know I was telling this to you, Champ, through one of our other group chats, that I love the smaller match quantity, but the higher quality of matches any day of the week.
1,000%.
You're able to let them breathe, and I love it. So I give it a 4 based off of just entertainment alone and just spectacle. They did a really good job with it, and I liked it.
Piggybacking off of the 5 versus 7 or 8 match cards, the 5, like the fact that we were able to watch the card, stay entertained for the entire card, and then have an evening to ourselves where we could like do other things. I don't know. I guess I really enjoyed that short match of a card because these like 6-hour PLEs sometimes are exhausting. And then you have them twice are exhausting.
I do want to agree with that.
I love wrestling, believe me. But like, I don't know, man. 12 hours in a weekend's a lot.
Well, again, but this one was in the early afternoon, so it's like it got done. It's over. Now your night's yours.
And yeah, I'm saying I would love to see more of those five card matches.
I would like to see earlier pay-per-view, or I would like to see earlier PLE times.
I know, but does that make us feel? Does that make us old?
Not at all. No.
Yeah,
it doesn't make us old. Not at all.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I don't think so.
Come on.
You're telling me you can't stay up till midnight watching wrestling and then go out and party? You can't?
Not me.
I'm just saying.
Listen, man. I couldn't even make it out. I couldn't even make it to the after party after WrestleMania, and I was there with our producer GDP having a blast, and we're gonna leave that one at that.
I do want to say just because also but I do like the shorter format 4-hour shows. Those are great. As a person who's been to a few WrestleManias, the WrestleMania in Orlando 33, that was a 7-hour event.
Oh no!
And I just remember it was, and because they saved Undertaker and Roman Reigns for last, it was just exhausting. And I remember just feeling completely like wiped. Like I had no energy afterwards, which I guess is what their intention was. But I was like,
should have had a monster.
Yeah.
I should have had a monster.
And now it's like 7 years later, so you'll feel way more wiped.
Yeah,
right. But all right, guys, we are done with this episode of Inside the 20 by 20. We will be here next week with episode 13.
Unlucky 13.
Our lucky number 13. And we're going to talk about what happened this week in the wrestling world. I'm your host, Mike Gambino. I'm here with
Chris Cross.
Chris and Cross. Chris Cross, the God Mod, and the Prodigy.
Damn it.
And let's get it straight. I'm the Daddy Mac. He's the Mac Daddy.
Oh, and what does that make me? I don't even want to know. Never mind.
What does that make you? What does that make Champ?
Never mind. I'm leaving that one out. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And in the words of our great producer, GDP, until we yeet again.
Bye.